What?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't tell you that?
I think you did.
Yeah.
I'm playing it up for the podcast right now.
Oh, whoa. Cool.
Brunch. Brunch.
Football season has begun, but it's not too late to get closer to the game you love with DraftKings 1 Week Fantasy Football. This Sunday, DraftKings is hosting a $100,000 contest that is totally free to enter. With DraftKings, there are many ways to play. Choose between public contests with big cash prizes or private contests where you can compete against a group of your friends. DraftKings also has beginner and casual contests where you'll play against people of similar skill level. The best part is, you get to draft a new team each week without any commitment. So get to DraftKings.com now and use promo code BRUNCH to play in DraftKings' free contest with $100,000 in total prizes this Sunday. That's promo code BRUNCH to compete for your share of $100,000 in total prizes. The contest is totally free to enter. Why wouldn't you try DraftKings, the game inside the game? Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
You might have something here.
Yeah, I actually think
you might just be an ad reader.
I think that this is the only thing that I'm good at.
You are unbelievable at it.
I get really excited when I realize as I'm doing something like, oh, fuck, you know what? I think I'm better than your average person at this. Now, if you were to be like, hey, read this page of a Dr. Seuss book, I'd be like, the fuck's a... They just hang out with an adult cat? And then I'd get distracted. But DraftKings with promo code BRUNCH just kind of speaks to where my soul wants to be. So thank you for the compliment.
Absolutely. If you like this podcast, go to DraftKings.com and use promo code BRUNCH because that's showing us love. And DraftKings is great and it's a lot of fun. Also, if you love us, download the CLNS radio app.
Yes.
It's a nice little app. Got a lot of podcasts, including this beautiful one right here. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. Do that from your local Apple store on all the devices there. We got some people sending us videos of that.
Yeah, we complained that no one's done that, and people either respond with videos of it or responded like, oh, no, I've done that.
Somebody was like, I took this video a couple months ago and just never remembered to share it.
I like that more because that's some psycho fan shit, and we want that if it's going to benefit us, but it's like ultimate psycho fan shit to do that and then not say anything about
just
it.
record it and just keep it for your own personal
I like that.
enjoyment
Like
for later. Wink, wink.
Our man's ETD has been at a lot of things that a lot of the same places as us, and he's always been like, "Hey, man, I'll be there. If you want to say hi, cool. If not, I don't fucking care."
Right. That's some true. That's like gangsta shit.
My kind of shit.
He's like, I'm gonna be there because I want to be there.
Yeah.
And if I see you, whatever.
He's playing hard to get.
I know. We're gonna have to ask him to take a picture with us and meet up with us.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just more interested in what that guy's deal is.
We're gonna talk about Chicago more, but at Chicago this weekend at the Haim concert, a kid just strolled up to us, was wearing a Brunch shirt, and was like, "Yo, what's up, guys?" And that was like the hottest shit I've felt like in forever.
Yeah. It was weird to be at a musician show, like people way better than us at everything.
Yeah.
Haim. And then there were people there wearing our T-shirt.
Yeah, that remains so.
Like I think I saw more Brunch T-shirts,
That's
and Brunch
true.
merch than Haim merch.
Well, that's for two reasons. One, you're not supposed to wear the band
That's
shirt
true,
that you're seeing.
but a lot of idiots
I
do
wear
that
my
shit anyway.
custom-made Haim shirts all the time when I go to see Haim.
Well, it's custom made.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
more effort. That's like wearing a custom Rob Thomas shirt to a Matchbox 20 concert.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I mostly wear
Your
the,
own merch.
the artists that I'm seeing, but custom made. It's almost always made by The Spot in South Boston.
Yep.
So
Great place.
shouts to them.
Free advertisement.
Promo
That's
code
how good
BRUNCH.
They are.
Wow, walk in there.
Promo code Brunch. Just use it and see what they say.
You know what? We should do that in general. That'd be a good way to get advertisers to say to people like, hey, look, we'd love to work with you. Plus, I don't know if you've noticed, our listeners are already using the promo code with you guys. Like talking to like a fucking sub shop or whatever. Like people keep going in there and saying brunch
with brunch requests.
Yes, yeah. So just wherever you're doing, as long as it's polite, don't do the thing to like the McDonald's cashier where they're like, "Oh, are you being mean to me? Are you playing a trick on me? Is this going to go viral?"
Back in their
Don't
face.
do shit like that. Yeah, but where you can, use promo code BRUNCH.
I do like the idea of just verbally saying promo code Brunch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like in person. That's like Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy.
yes, that's one of my favorite Michael Scott moves. I actually got busted recently at a Banana Republic
Jerking off.
for using my wiener, I got busted using the educator discount.
Yeah.
And I was not a happy camper. And neither was the cashier, because the cashier was like, yo, man, you know me. I've lived this lie with you before.
Yeah.
But the manager was like, are you an educator? And I said, I work in education, which is true.
And she said no to that?
Yeah.
What?
She said it was actually pretty good, because I was rocking some athleisure, so it was believable that I wouldn't have all my proper credentials on me.
Okay.
So they were
I
ringing
just
me
came
up
from the gym.
Yeah, so they were ringing me up, and I was like, oh, you guys have an educator discount, right? And the cashier was like, yep. And you just start to punch it in. And the manager said,
what
do
a
you have
dick.
any? Yeah, she was like overhearing.
Oh, what a
yeah,
dick.
maybe this kid's got a reputation because he's just been giving up that educator discount for nothing. And so I just did my favorite move, tell a lie. I confidently reached into my pockets and then was distraught when I realized I don't have. What do you fucking have as an educator? That
School ID, maybe?
Yeah, probably. It's like a fucking gun and a badge. Like,
you just pull out one of those like FBI flippy things with
Yeah.
your badge in it, and just,
Yeah.
yes, I am
Watson. I mean, Mr. Watson.
chief educator.
Yes. And they wouldn't give it to me, and it was definitely a Mexican Banana Republic standoff where she was like, "Are you even an educator?" And I was like,
Oh, she said, "Are you even an educator?"
She said, "Well, are you an educator?" So
a sassy
that
little mama.
yeah, exactly. That replaced the even, but she jumped to the front of the line. Her fucking opening word was sass. So I didn't like that. I wasn't as mortified as I should be. I'm like, I get mortified in more. You shouldn't be mortified by that situations, but that was wow. That must have been really embarrassing, and it was more of like no, that person was being an asshole. I was just trying to use my hard-earned educator discount, and she fucking blew up my spot.
Well, now we get to see the true test of character of this cashier, because next time you go in and if the manager is not there,
Yeah.
he knows that you're
Oh,
not an
no.
educator.
Oh, I'll tell you this. He mouthed sorry to me.
Ooh, so yeah, you're still in the clear.
He did like a little oh my God, this is
lady's
so
a bitch.
embarrassing. Yeah, like she's fucking ruining our lives
Yeah.
right now. And I said at full volume back, I feel you, brother. No, that would be I should have done that thing where to really piss them off, because when you want to put a divide between two people,
Yeah.
you just make it clear hey, we're all talking shit about you.
Yep.
So I should have been like, oh, dude, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Then
right.
or not your fault, and
Right.
then
Or yeah, that sucks, man. See ya.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck, you got the rest of your shift with this, huh?
I know.
Here's and it's Monday and people are pissed. We did not watch the Emmys. We did see our goddess, Lena Waithe, make history. First black woman to win an Emmy for comedy writing. Gave the speech that is on the top of everyone's lips. No one can quit talking about it. So good. Talking about queer superpowers. Talking about taking a chance on a little kid from Chicago, from Southside Chicago. Just everything I want and more. But Sean Spicer came out in the Emmys, and they made a little. He did a little lie about how. What did he say? This is the biggest audience the Grammys the Emmys have ever had.
Yep.
Basically mocking how he used to just always fucking lie for President Trump and for Donald Trump and for 45 and everybody clapped and shit at that.
It's I don't know. That's it's just gross.
That's a
it's
snowflake
yeah.
moment for me. I'm like, you know what? Everyone who stands up and is like, that is not okay, is totally right for doing that.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable because it's funny,
Yeah.
but it's also ugh,
You're confirming everything
everybody's worst fear.
Yeah, everything that you thought was fucked about that administration, that it's just a bunch of tone deaf liars.
Oh,
that they're the guy that only did it for a minute.
The former chief tone deaf public liar was just it's bad.
He was like, yeah, that's exactly what we were doing. And the thing is with Sean Spicer, who are his friends now? Because now he.
The better question is who's Anthony Scaramucci's friends, because that guy seemed like he burned every
nobody.
bridge.
What did he insinuate with Tom Brady and Ivanka Trump?
I don't know.
Did you hear about that?
No.
He was on a thing and he said, he was like, why didn't he asked the interviewer, he was like, why wasn't Tom Brady at the White House with the Patriots? And the guy was like, I don't know. Do you know something I don't? He was like, I don't know. I'm just saying. And the guy was like, well, you're going to have to give me a little something more here because I can't just guess everything. And he was like, well, and he started talking about like their wives and stuff. And initially I thought he was just saying Giselle doesn't like Trump, so that's why he wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Which everybody in the world would believe. Giselle doesn't like Trump. Tom
Right.
Brady's married to Giselle. Tom Brady loves Giselle, so maybe
might
you
not
don't
go
want
to the White House,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But he was saying something else. Like I don't know if he was talking about like if Giselle and Ivanka don't get along or something. Or I have no idea what he was saying. But I'm like, this guy has a way with words, doesn't he? He's either talking about guys, his bosses sucking their own dicks, or he's doing like a very kind of cavalier. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. And it's like I think that you don't know anything that you're saying. So that's a fun. It's Monday and people are pissed. It's Tuesday and I'm sick.
Yeah. You seem a little bit under the weather.
Yeah,
Is that from Chicago?
Yes, it's an exhaustion thing.
Okay.
We we went Friday to Sunday, except our flight Friday was at 5:30 in the morning. Ever heard of it? And Sunday, our last day there, after a long day of Chicagoing, we got up bright and early and went to a Chicago bar to watch some football.
Yes, and then we watched football after that.
And then
So
all
we
day.
watched soccer. In the
And our
morning.
flight was at
American friends.
10:05 p.m. So we were just
a
out
long
in the
fucking
open,
day.
bouncing around. We were fucking doing it. Like we were taking like half-hour Ubers to spots from our favorite show, Easy. We went to a little brewery and we were like, "Hey, we saw this in the show Easy," and they were like,
Yeah, man.
Cool.
That came out like a year and a half.
"Right,
ago.
yeah." They're like,
Stop this.
"Was not a major hit." Yeah.
But on Sunday, we did a rare thing in the history of the podcast. We recorded an episode and then just didn't use it.
Scrapped it. That's a lost episode.
Yeah, because by the end of the Sunday, I won't speak for you, but
Yeah.
I was in very rough shape.
Yeah, we were both just dead and exhausted, and we were recording it, and that's one of those. It's just one of those things where the day goes on so long. We were saying we were like at no point were we fucking pounding beers or chugging beer. I mean, we actually probably were just as it went on because you drink faster
Right.
once you're drunk. But we I don't know if that's actually even a thing. I think I just like gave a peek into my life.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, you know, like
We
once you're
probably
drunk,
did-
you
we probably
drink
did-
a lot faster and you cry.
well,
and,
I think you just like don't realize how much you drink.
yeah,
when
that's
you're
yeah.
already drunk.
Well, like all of you, like your inhibitions just kind of drop off,
Yeah.
right? So we
But we also watched like the Patriots game on Sunday at a Patriots bar.
Yeah.
And they give out free shots every time the team scored.
That was fun.
And that was fun.
Yeah.
But that shit catches up to you.
yeah. Man, I'm just thinking of that day now. What a fun day.
It was a very good day.
Yeah.
It was. I thought it was kind of funny. Like during the day, we spent like it was our last day in Chicago. Like anything we wanted to knock off, and
Yeah.
So we just went to bars and stayed inside and drank all day.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you that Patriots bar. It was the third on the list on Yelp when I searched for Patriots bars in Chicago, and it was, and we went because it was closest to us, and it was slammed.
It was very packed, and the place that everybody told me to go to when I put it out on Twitter was Trips Tap or Tripoli's Tap.
Yeah, that was the first one.
It was further away, but apparently that's like the biggest one, and it got rave reviews on Twitter. But this place was a lot of fun. It was a weird setting.
Yeah.
For like a sports bar. It was definitely the kind of bar that you like. They're just doing the sports thing because they know that it's like an extra cash grab.
Yeah, it was like
It was like a high scale.
it was like a Boston Beer Works type of
Okay.
setting where it's not fancy, but it's definitely not a dive.
It's like a modernized just
Yes, yeah. But that was a blast. So, but yeah, we had spent all day just kind of doing that, and then we went to record, and we were just sitting in the airport talking at full volume, recording, and I kept looking at the time, which we generally don't have to do, and we'd gone through like 16 stories, talked about the Emmys, done everything, and it was like 17 minutes.
Yeah.
We were like, whoa.
This is not what we usually do. So
We did not have much to say. It was just like our bodies wanted to be out of there.
How did you feel about the Sunday morning soccer experience? Because I've been trying to get you on the soccer train for a while. You're just like, I know I'd probably like it, but I just don't.
Right. Well, I was always on board with doing the get up and go to a bar thing, but I just couldn't do it because generally the Bruins would have games on Saturdays, so I'd have to like get up and go to morning skate or whatever. But I'll say it was quite enjoyable. I liked it.
You watched like a really shitty game too.
Yeah.
It was a 0-0 draw.
Yeah. But then we watched a little bit Manchester United against
Everton.
Yes. And there was a goal right out the bat.
Oh, yeah.
I was quite excited.
It was a fucking awesome goal, too. So
yeah.
That kind of made
that was a rocket. Yeah. Are Manchester United fans douchebags?
So
are they like
the Yankees of the
So that's what I
PPL.
assumed. Yeah. There were some kids there that I was like, man, these are the first people that I've seen this morning that I've been like, hey, I bet they're douchebags.
This was like a big soccer bar.
Yeah, they were doing the
Lots-
chants and they were doing fucking singing, and we'd heard enough music that weekend that I was like, this is the worst music I've heard so far. This kid doesn't even have bars. But yeah, I liked it and I would definitely do it again.
You got to go to Lear in Boston during an Arsenal game.
That's what they say. I've been at
You and Jeff.
Yeah, I've been at breakfast before on like Saturday where it's an Irish bar or whatever, and been like, fuck, whoops, it's a soccer thing right now, and they get fucking wild.
It's an event.
Yeah. But Chicago packed a punch. There was we did use up every second of our Chicago time.
Other than the nap that we took on the first day.
But that was so important.
Necessary.
And that was recouped time because we got there so early. We got to Chicago at like 7 a.m.
Yeah, we did. And could not check into the hotel until noon.
Yeah, so
we spent approximately
we loitered
4 hours at a Starbucks.
Yeah.
I edited the podcast, did a video. You kind of just sat there because you didn't bring your computer.
I didn't bring my computer. I was like, nah, I'm vibing out. And then as soon as we got there, I was like, why didn't I bring my fucking computer or headphones or anything? I could have listened to the new Foo Fighters album, could have listened to the Rostam album. That's another thing. You go away for the weekend and you're like busy the whole time, you fall off with like content shit, you know?
I mean, everything passes you by.
Yeah.
But we did the very cool move of on Friday. As soon as we got there, we went to Portillo's basically as soon as it opened.
Yes,
and then we were like the last people in Portillo's at the end of the night.
That same night,
Yes.
Yeah, we went twice. So
we opened and closed Portillo's.
That's what. Yes, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so we went there at 10, which was the earliest you could do it. Just fucking ate everything, and then didn't eat again until after the Haim show that night. And same fucking deal. Ordered everything. You got a cake shake?
I got a cake shake at like. So what time did it close? 1
I think it was like 1.
So I got a cake shake at probably 12:50
Yeah.
a.m. And then went to bed approximately 30 minutes later. That didn't feel great.
Yeah,
It is the cake shake at Portillo's is literally like they threw a chocolate cake in a blender and then
added
like,
no
here's
liquid.
And here's a smoothie, and then they stick a straw in it as basically like a way of torturing you because it is almost impossible to get a cake shake of that thickness through a regular straw.
I ate my
Jesus.
my I know I'm in rough shape. I ate my fries that night so quickly that for the first time in my life, you always see the end of the fries coming, and I didn't. I reached in and it was just empty,
gone.
and then I went to the bag, everything was gone.
Wow.
That's a terrible feeling.
I would imagine so. Like fries are kind of your safety blanket.
Yeah.
Your food fries are basically like a food safety blanket.
They're always in the picture. They're always, if you need something else to do, they're like if you need to take a little beat from your real food, it's just, they're the filler.
Right.
And it was
your
tough.
check down.
Yeah, right, exactly. Fortunately, I still have like half a hot dog and an entire Italian beef sandwich left. So
the Italian beef is so fucking good.
yeah, that shit is awesome.
We didn't do a ton of like food.
Other Chicago food things. Yeah, I wanted to go to Lou Malnati's, do a little pizza, but
I've still never had Chicago deep dish pizza. 2 trips, no pizza yet.
yeah, it's Lou Malnati's is awesome. There's the big 3. It's Gino's East, Giordano's, and Lou Malnati's. Lou Malnati's is the best. Very, very awesome.
We should also definitely discuss the horrifying moment that we had in our first day in Chicago.
I was going to say, this was a big highlights, lowlights trip.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how many lowlights? We had a few lowlights, but probably the biggest low
of our lives.
I was going to say, was the moment that we thought that we were probably going to die.
Yeah.
Before doing anything on the Chicago trip. On Friday, we were heading to the music festival to
yes, sir.
see our friend Kellen and his band, The Story So Far.
Yes.
They performed. Kellen had a rough Friday and a rough Friday show. His equipment wasn't working.
Yes,
He was very frustrated.
We walked in, and Kellen was... they were playing. It was like their second song, and Kellen was standing over by his bass amp, and he kept looking over to the left. And I was like, see what he's doing there? That means there's like a minor little sound issue. And you're like, right, yeah, because, you know, a lot of times you see people like pointing up and down and stuff, or they're looking at the guy who's doing the mixing and everything. And we were like, huh. And after like a couple minutes, we were like, we should take a picture and tweet like, hey, asshole, you should face your fans. And then after like 9 minutes, we were like, this is not a minor issue.
Yeah.
And the head of his bass amp was just dead. So they replaced it with an amp that Kellen did not like, said it sounded like garbage. So then for like the rest of the set, he was just like miserable because... I imagine like Riot Fest would be a set that you'd really look forward to, and you know, like they stayed the whole weekend, they hung out.
They were on the main stage.
Yeah, they were like doing like a lot of cool things. So I could see where, I mean, it would be like the equivalent, and we'll get to our story of like we had this weekend circled. If we had died on the first day, we would have been like, oh, what a fucking bummer that was. Anyway, yeah, we're on our way to Riot Fest, which Riot Fest is in Douglas Park, which is a little outside of the city. It's like 20 minutes, or outside of like the big downtown area, like the Loop and Magnificent Mile and everything like that.
The safe part of the city.
Right. So my understanding has always been, obviously, south side of Chicago, bad. Everything north, you're probably in better shape. And... so this was a little west, and as we're going, I guess it was like probably near O'Hare, the other airport. So we're driving out west, and it's like, all right, this is starting to kind of look maybe a little more like the Chicago on the news.
Yeah, like all the shops and stores were basically like abandoned and boarded up, and like there was a point for like a couple blocks where I didn't see anything that was like a functioning. Building.
Yeah, it was a lot of unkempt areas. So, guy in front of us cuts us off. Our Uber driver, as you do when you have strangers' lives in your hands, beeps his horn, gives the guy the finger. Guy in front of us proceeds to, in this bad area, proceeds to slam on his brakes, stick his head out the window, and yell, "What's your problem? You fucking N-bomb with hard R."
Yep.
Horrifying. Very, very horrifying.
Also,
worth noting, our driver
was like Muslim, I think.
Yes. I think that the guy just like spun his head around, saw a color that wasn't his own, and was like, "Oh, I bet the N-word works here." So he did that. Our driver responded by doubling down on the beeping, doubling down on the fingers. We politely were like, because this was like escalating quickly, not like one thing leads to another. It was like, it went from 0 to 10 in like half a second. So we were like, hey, What did I say? I said like,
Hey, can you please avoid confrontation?
yes, which that's like an ad read for me. That was like
Yes.
I didn't think that I had that in me. I thought I was just gonna say like, please, we have so much left to give. So
It'd be hilarious if you just yelled from the backseat, "We have a podcast!"
right, yeah, you don't know who you're transporting. Never again, Uber X. So we keep going for a few more blocks, and we're both still, like, both these cars are still in the picture, like, very close to each other, next to each other, in front or behind each other, very, very close proximity, and we're just a silence, as you may expect, has befallen the car at this point.
Yeah, and it was
hush.
It was also somewhat troubling that the car in front of us that we were playing chicken with was fully tinted out. Could not see what was going on inside the car.
Oh, I didn't add this. After when the guy beeped back and gave the finger a second time after the N-bomb, when our driver beeped back after the bad guy's N-bomb, the bad guy spit on the car, hawked like a loogie, had shit ready to go in his mouth.
Gonna give him credit. It was an unbelievable spit.
I could not do that on command.
No, and I don't even think it...
Especially if you're yelling at somebody, doesn't that take saliva out of your mouth?
Yeah, and I think you could give me like 10 minutes to prep.
Yeah.
Prep my spit, and I wouldn't be able to huck one that far.
Yeah, and it did everything spitting on a car wants to be, because it was not one little small thing that you could wipe away.
Yeah.
It sprayed. It had the fucking the golden ball, but it did not. It had everything else too. It had a real spray. This guy was a shotgun of a spitter.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that's not the first time that guy's done that.
Right. He's spat on many a vehicle. So about a block later, we started to see the groups of people walking in one direction, and we were like, all right, we have to be near at this point. So we said, hey, you can let us out here. Thank you so much. Sorry you had to experience that. That must have been horrifying, whatever. Have a nice day. And he said, yeah. I'm going to go find that guy.
Yeah,
and
it was very, very casual. We were walking away. And
it's like, next order of business, find that guy.
Yeah. We were walking away, and we were like, wait, did he just say that he was going to go find him?
Yeah. That was...
That's probably not a guy that I would actively seek out to meet again.
Right. He was the meanest. He did all the meanest things you could possibly do. Right. Racism, spitting on cars. Also, just like inconsiderate driving.
Yeah.
All started with that guy cutting him off. Yeah. We were astonished. That wasn't the only time we were in a car. I mean, we took Ubers everywhere. Yeah. But
Chicago drivers, man. Just
way more aggressive than Boston drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Everything seems... They're all on the cusp of road rage.
Yes,
right out the gate. They start at like a 9.9.
And like a big move there apparently is when you like turn down a street and there's nobody in front of you.
Yeah.
You just go as fast as you can.
Yes, that guy was... So our second driver was accelerating on a side street like no one has ever accelerated on a side street.
It was literally like he was... And he had headphones in.
It was some like just picked up Zooey Deschanel and we're running away and she's going to become a stewardess kind of acceleration on a side street.
Yep. It was good reference.
Yes, quite scary. But so from there we did Riot Fest, survived it. Story so far did sound great regardless of what Kellen will tell you. Kellen, you know what Kellen was doing?
Just goes to show he's not that important to the band.
That's right. If he thought it was horrible and we didn't hear anything that sounded bad, then right, just goes to show you.
Expendable.
Yeah. But he was beating himself up.
Mm-hmm. He had like the saddest tweet of the weekend was after the show. He was just like, "Hey, if you took any videos or Instagrams or whatever, and you can hear the bass in it, please just delete it."
Yeah.
Like, aw.
Yeah.
It's like seeing your son really disappointed.
I know. And the worst thing about it was there was a big Satan face there. There were like carnival rides and everything, but there was a big Satan face, and everybody would go and take pictures at the Satan face. Their stage,
Satan face.
Yeah, their stage faced the Satan face. So, as Callan was playing his least favorite set of his life, he had Satan just fucking staring at him the entire time.
He said that it looked like the Satan face was laughing at him the entire time, which I kind of...
Which wasn't true. We were laughing at him the entire time.
Yes.
But we hung out with those guys quite a bit, and I'm a Story So Far fan in that, like, I don't even need the music to be a Story So Far
Right.
fan.
They're just like really good dudes.
Yeah, they're like, I think that they're the kind of band that we could hang out with.
We did.
Yeah, that's how I learned that.
Right.
I think if you were to drop us in with I don't know, any other fucking band, then maybe we wouldn't be cool. We'd be awkward or whatever.
Feel out of place.
Yeah, this was just a lot of vibing out. We did Brunch with Kellen and Parker, the singer. Parker, I was impressed. I know Kellen didn't love that set, but Parker's got some pipes.
He does.
So yeah.
And he has range.
That's why I like him, because a lot of those types of bands, like the pop punk sounds, they're generally all like baritones, and they really have to scream to hit anything high. But he can fucking sing, so it was awesome. And yeah, they were all just really, really solid dudes, and we probably bugged them more than they wanted us to, but that's what we do.
I don't know. Brunch was a good time on Saturday. We were there for about like 4 hours.
Yeah, we got there way early, and just because we were supposed to meet them somewhere else, and we were walking to this other place, and we were like, wait, this place is right here. Let's go in there.
And they have chicken and waffles.
Yeah, so we went in. Yeah, so we went in there and loitered for like 2 hours. We did a lot of loitering that weekend.
So we did so much loitering that the manager of the restaurant came over. Let's keep in mind that
quote
this is
unquote
very
jokingly.
This is very empty. The place was pretty much cleared out, and we were the only people there, and we were waiting for like 3 hours. The manager comes over and was like, we're going to have to kick you guys out soon if your party doesn't show up. And we're like,
Well, it wasn't just that we were sitting there by ourselves. It's that we walked in, asked for a table for 7, sat down, ordered drinks immediately, but the drinks we ordered were micheladas. We both tasted ours and then giggled for the rest of the time until the guys from Story So Far showed up, because we didn't like it. And every time either of us drank it, it made the other one laugh because we were making faces.
They were so bad, dude. It's basically like a Bloody Mary with
a little beer.
Yeah, with a tiny little beer. It was so bad. I confirm that I'm not a Bloody Mary person at all.
Still. It was so bad. But I decided I'm just going to keep getting them.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't tell you that?
I think you did.
Yeah.
I'm playing it up for the podcast right now.
Oh, whoa. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna keep getting them and probably do exactly what I did last time, which is like, so bad.
Do you? So you're not? You decide that you're not a Bloody Mary guy too, right?
Definitely not. No.
Okay. Do you think that you'll ever be a Bloody Mary?
Got to be a guy to be a Bloody Mary guy. That's what I say.
Fair enough. Do you think you'll ever be one?
No.
Yeah. Part of me feels like at some point I might try it and be like, oh, this isn't that bad.
Will you call them bloodies?
Oh, God, kill me if I ever get to that point in my life.
I know.
But I always said, like, I'm not a wine guy.
Yeah.
And then, like, eventually, it's an acquired taste.
Right.
And people say that about Bloody Marys. It's an acquired taste.
So I knew that I was a whiskey guy when I hated whiskey.
Oh,
like,
right.
I tried drinking it in college, and I thought it was so fucking bad. I did every which way. I did, like, put water in it, do this, do that, and I was like, this is fucking horrible. But I knew, I was like, at some fucking point, I'm just going to drink whiskey, and it's going to taste good to me. And that happened. I don't have that feeling with Bloody Marys.
I know. I kind of just hate everything about Bloody Marys. It's really just disgusting. It's tomato. It's
bad
spicy
ingredients.
It's basically all made up of ingredients that like an 8-year-old hates.
Yes.
And just will not eat. It's fucking like tomatoes.
And given that chicken
sauce.
and waffles is our favorite food, we like stuff that an 8-year-old would
loves.
like. Yeah.
Yes.
Just sweet shit and fucking waffles
But
and
think about
fried
it.
chicken.
It's a Bloody Mary is just like a garbage dump of awful ingredients. Fucking tomato sauce, celery, olives.
Yeah.
Like, what? Bacon sometimes? Like, who the fuck wants any of that together?
I was quite excited, though, because there was like a big stick of meat in the micheladas, and I finished mine, and Kellen's girlfriend, Val, was like, hey, aren't you going to eat that, like, Mexican fruit roll-up or whatever it is? And I was like, I did not know that that's what this was.
I know, it literally like, just looked like a stick of beef jerky.
Right. So then I had a moment that I didn't like, which was everybody was like, oh, try it. Let's see what you think. And suddenly, again, this goes back to my fucking dentist thing. When someone tells you to do something that you know how to do on command, it's very unnerving. So they were like, "Oh, take a bite." And like,
how do I do this?
you get so fucking like, has that ever happened to you? If someone's like, "Hey, try a bite of this," and you're like,
I don't think that's ever happened.
you're like, now I have to,
Now
to
do I have
take
to
a
chew it
bite.
too?
Yeah, right. And like, at what point is there like the,
Yes. At what point do you have to decide, like, I can taste this?
yeah? So I took a little bite and it was good, and then I
Yeah.
did a second bite for good luck. It was like it tasted like like an apricot kind of fruit roll up thing, except it was soaked in the worst drink I've ever tasted.
No, I didn't actually get to the point of trying that little stick thing because
Yeah,
I did not
I give
finish
you
my
credit. So
Michelada.
like we both did the same move, which was like we took sips and then we would pour more beer in it to try to water it down, and it just never got better. Actually, no, at the halfway point it did get better, but you
said-
quit
at-
long before then.
At one point, you were like, "Ooh, I think I hit a sweet spot.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste horrible."
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I don't want my fucking drink to have a sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
want
working
all of
for
it
this.
to be good.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I'm fucking paying money for this.
Right. It's like I get to choose whatever I want off the menu.
Yeah.
I want all of it to be all of the experience to be enjoyable.
It would have been. I'm so fucking pissed now. I just must have been tired and out of it. But the move should have been as soon as I finished it when they came back and was like, "Can we get you guys anything else?" But I was like, "Yeah, I'll do another michelada." That would have been fucking awesome.
I would have been like, "What?"
That would have been. I would have laughed so hard. But it was so bad that even a good joke didn't come to like that didn't seem on the table.
Yeah.
That's how fucking bad
Like,
it
there's
was.
no chance in hell you were going to order another one of those, despite the laughs that it might get.
Right, like it.
You're not going to put yourself through that.
And if it didn't get laughs, that would have
Oh,
sucked.
man.
That would have been a real one of those like you thought you were slick. Well, take your medicine now. Except this is way worse than medicine. Saw Haim Friday night.
That's basically the reason that we went to Chicago.
Yeah,
They were everything that I could have hoped for.
that was. It stinks because we agreed it was a 10 out of 10 performance, and it was like a 2 out of 10 concert going experience.
It really, really was. The crowd was unbelievably bad.
Yeah, I was so mad that like there were many points that I was so mad that I was like I am definitely enjoying what I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, but like
It's being hindered.
Like I'm not in that mode. Like
Yes.
at Lollapalooza, it was like you fucking gave up your soul. It was like a fucking out of body experience.
Right.
You know?
You don't have to be there. Like you just let them take you.
Exactly,
And you couldn't do that because the crowd around us. Well, I don't even want to say that the crowd was bad because the crowd was good.
Right.
We were just in like
We were in the wrong
worst
spot of the
pocket.
crowd, yeah.
We were in the worst pocket and just sandwiched between the absolute most nightmare concert goer people that you could ever be stuck between.
At one point, we broke off from them, and afterwards, I was like, "Sorry, man, they were so terrible." And you were like, "Wait, who's they?" And I was like, "The two girls behind us." She's like, "I didn't." You're like, "I didn't even notice the two girls behind us. I was talking about the fucking asshole in front of us."
Yes. This girl with like a group of her, like 2 or 3 of her friends. The show had just started. And everybody was in their place.
Yeah.
There was no moving because Haim took a little while to get on stage.
Yeah.
Everybody was locked in their place, and then the show started. And like 20 seconds into the first song, this girl and her 3 friends were like trying to squeeze up and get a better spot, and she squeezed by me because she caught me off guard, and it was just her. So the 3 other girls could not get past. So this girl ended up just getting in front of me, and what she did was she just decided she was going to stay there. Even though she couldn't break through the crowd. Like, she didn't retreat at all. She was like, this is as far as I'm making it. I'm standing here. It was directly in my fucking face. And the worst part of it all was that her friends were behind her. So not only was she directly in my face blocking my view of the stage, but she'd turn around and whip her hair and look at her friends like every 15 seconds to be like, ha, we're singing along and being fucking obnoxious. And she was dancing all over the place. So not even like a situation where she was standing in front of me and I could look around her and find a pocket of vision. No, because she kept fucking waving back and forth, and I had to keep fucking waving back and forth to keep my vision.
You know
it was
what?
So fucking annoying.
You know what I'm realizing? Because you're saying this, and I'm seeing it again. And I'm like replaying parts of that night. I'm coming to this conclusion right now. This isn't an insult. You're going to probably strongly agree. I am more concerned about your ability to see and you being in the right space when I see a concert with you than I am when I see a concert with a girl.
Really?
Yes. And do you know why?
Because
a girl can solve her problem by doing exactly what you just fucking described. Right? Like, if you start, like, throwing elbows and, like, muscling your way into places where you're not supposed to be, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
But if a girl does it, it's like, well, she's short. She can't see.
Yeah.
You are... that sucks.
I know. Being short is tough at concerts sometimes.
Because I probably said to you, like, 30 times during the show, like, you okay? Like,
yeah,
you good?
You did. You kept checking in.
And generally, like, I mean, you say that maybe 2 to 5 times at a concert with somebody. But... I think it was also just because it was Haim, and I was like, this is very important that we all
flew to Chicago for it.
Yeah. The girls behind us. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, we flew to Chicago for it, so to have, like, somebody else ruin that for me would have sucked. But, like, I still really enjoyed the show. It was just something that I didn't want to deal with, and something... The most frustrating part of all that is that we didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, that girl should have just been told... It
yes.
goes back there.
Right.
And I was so close to being like, hey, can you just, like, stand behind me?
Yeah.
And, like, her friends were there. She should have been standing there anyway.
Ugh.
She was the worst person in the world.
No, I thought it was the 2 girls behind us. They were just speaking to each other the whole time. Speaking the whole time, singing along, wrong words. It was clearly Baby's first time concert. And I was so upset. Because they were in my fucking ear. And these are things, we're describing things that I think everyone's encountered at a concert. But it's a bigger deal because, A, it's us. And we care more about ourselves than we care about your shitty concert experiences. And B, we were watching fucking Haim murder it and do, like, for all the stuff that we thought going into it, where, like, they haven't played a ton of songs from the new album live, they've been playing short sets, Danielle's been sick, what's going on? They played a fucking long set. I think they played like 13 songs, and
it was the best that I've seen them.
Right. Like, if you transplant that into the Lollapalooza show, then I don't think either of us would be alive to tell about it, because we would have fucking died on the spot. But they played fucking Walking Away, which was the only goal I had of the weekend, and it was so fucking good. And I think probably because of Danielle's laryngitis, but is that what she had?
Yep.
Yeah. But possibly because I think it's just a cool idea. Like, the first half of the show, they just switched off vocals for all the songs. Like, Alana saying "Don't Save Me," and that's awesome. Like, that's the type of shit I want to see at a Haim show. I want to see them fucking mix it up. I want to see shit I haven't seen them do before.
Yeah.
And basically, Alana can do no wrong ever. I think that she's everybody's, like, she's like the mascot of the group, you know? Like, everyone's so fucking happy when she does something awesome. So, yeah, so good.
But I mean, I totally get it. I was dealing with the people behind us as well. Like, I could hear them. They were fucking talking.
Yeah.
And it was a loud area, so, like, they were screaming, and you could hear everywhere.
There was a lot of, like, "You're such a good friend. I'm so glad I'm here with you." I was like, bitch, if we were saying that at a show, you think I wouldn't be saying that to Pete right now? Like,
not the time or place here.
Right. I'm like, that's... We all know, we're all thinking that about the friends we're with, okay?
I know.
You don't need to fucking shout it during Want You Back.
I know. It's just like, this is so important to me. You're so important to me. This night is so important.
So how are you going to reminisce on that shit? Be like, hey, remember that time that we were at that important concert and kept telling each other how important it was to each other?
Screaming over the part that we should have been enjoying.
Oh, so mad.
So fucking annoying. I really, really do hate people that, like, straight up talk at concerts.
Yeah, because... How many words do you think we exchanged at Lollapalooza during Haim? Probably just like look, or like
shit,
check out what she's doing, or like, oh my god, she's in the crowd, or like,
oh my god, my pants.
Yeah, like, have my babies, shit like that. Or no, I will not take my hat off. I was here first.
Right.
You know what's that guy probably had a similar story about me. The guy that was standing behind us when I was wearing the hat.
Yeah, he probably has a podcast, and he was like, this fucking asshole in front of me just wouldn't take his hat off.
Yeah. It did. This always happens when I see Haim. I'm just, like, when there's maybe 5 songs left, my brain's already in the mode of, I can't fucking wait to see Haim again.
Yeah. It really is like once the show was coming to an end, like my body went into a panic. I was like, fuck, this is almost over.
Now
and I'm going to have to wait to see them and just cherish every second of this right now.
It's fucking 7 p.m. on Christmas when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I've already opened everything, got everything I want. Now I got to start fucking looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
364 days? Not even more than that because, no. Yeah. Yeah, 364 days.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how math
I was
works.
trying to figure out where you're...
It's like -1 is all
I did want to say, like, yeah, but I kind of just wanted to see where you went with that.
Be like, is he going to come up with any other number? Yeah, but fuck, like they were so awesome. Shouts out to Esty for crowd surfing
all the way to the back.
All the way to the back and back to the front.
Yes. Without dropping.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And at the Riv, there's like 2 front sections, and there's a little railing that separates them. And she was carried over the railing. Just fucking wild. She also started her crowd surf face down.
I never do that.
Yeah.
I never do that.
I
don't want strangers' hands all over my face.
I was going to say, you're asking for a whole lot of everything you don't want.
Oh, yeah, boobs, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're touching all sorts of places. Like, when Moo stage dived over us, or crowd surfed over us, we were, like, very respectful. We were like...
Don't touch your butt.
Knee and below, everybody. Knee and below. And, like, you can touch her head. You seem safe.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she... there was a picture that, like, we're just... that they posted of Esty, like, fucking in the back. It's just, like, this huge picture of the crowd, and... Esty's just like in the back you can see the tops of boots and like Esty's face like I might fucking die here.
I don't think she wanted to go that far. The crowd just took her.
Well, that's what I was like. That was so fucking badass that she would do that, and you were like, who said that? That's what she was trying to do.
It's very hard to control where you go when you're crowd surfing.
But that's what happens, man. Shit gets wild at a Haim concert. Today's Tuesday. Kellen posted something about the Misfits, so we were going back and forth about that on Monday night, and he was like, hey, man, sorry that we didn't meet up on Sunday because we wanted to do kind of a recap podcast of the weekend, and it was going to be the 3 of us. Also, side note with Kellen, great picture at brunch that somehow wasn't taken. We didn't take a lot of pictures. I took some band pictures, but not many pictures of us. We had fire outfits. But at brunch on Saturday... It was just chicken and waffles, you, me, Kellen.
Yep.
And that would have been a great fucking shot. But anyway, he was like, yeah, man, sorry I didn't get over. We couldn't meet up on Sunday, just between bouncing around at the festival and everything. Like, we couldn't find the time. And that applies to our Haim experience because my new rule is if you're doing anything and a music festival is in the picture, you need to build in a 2-hour buffer. So whatever you think that you're doing, do it 2 hours earlier. So, for example, on Friday, we wanted to get there for like 4 to see Action Bronson. We got there at about 6. Mm-hmm. We didn't get out of the festival on Friday until way later than we planned. And as a result, we weren't... So, like, if we were in the first couple rows at Haim... we wouldn't have faced that issue. Yeah, because we would have gotten all the people like us who are just fucking there to be like, hey, Haim, take me with you.
Yes.
So that's a fun little rule from now on. 2 hours, everybody, because that's burned me before. Like when we missed Drom at Lollapalooza, when we missed Chris Stapleton at Lollapalooza. Like, there's just, if a festival's in the picture, there's never enough time. So you got to make some... changes, got to make some moves.
Also, if you're going to get corn dogs and nachos at Riot Fest, also build in like a 2-hour window because that was the longest line that I've ever waited in my life.
Yes, we watched all of Wu-Tang's set from a corn dog line.
From a corn dog line. That was... So, for as far as entertainment goes,
Yeah.
while you're waiting in line, you really can't beat that.
Right.
But honestly, like we waited in line so long that whatever was at the conclusion, at the finish line there, it was going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Well, not worth it, but satisfying.
Yeah.
The corn dogs and nachos, very very disappointed. I thought that they were going to be
Gourmet.
yeah, basically. I mean, there was a fucking 50-minute line that we waited in, but they were
Yo,
just
it was a
literally,
fucking
like,
sign
microwave.
with that same font as every sign that has ever said corn dogs and nachos with the fucking like 3 stars on the side. You had to know that was
I didn't.
like you're getting fucking carnival fare.
No, I thought they were going to be like some unique sort of corn dog. Like, nope,
if this
it
were
was just a
Lollapalooza,
microwavable
if this
thing.
were Lollapalooza, then yes,
Yeah.
it would have been
So I've only been to like big music festivals,
Right.
other than Boston Calling,
right, and
which is kind of now becoming like a big music
yeah,
festival.
Riot Fest is definitely a big festival, but it's like charm is like we're fucking bare bones.
Right.
We're giving you rock music and nothing else.
Right.
And
Which is not true because they had unbelievable merch.
I know their merch was great. Their merch was so good that when we went to get merch, the first 2 things I asked for were sold out, and I was like, "Nah, it's cool," because they kept bringing back other sizes. I was like, "Nope."
You had a depth chart of
Yes.
Reich your merch.
yeah.
I had to go with the third stringer, but the third stringer is like it's like the Patriots. The third string,
someone else's first.
Yeah, exactly,
stringer, yeah.
exactly.
And it was inexpensive merch, so
It was it was not expensive.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Riot Fest was great. Queens of the Stone Age
I was just gonna say we got to bring them up because they were unbelievable.
awesome. Just everything that you like about their albums. I've never seen them live before. Everything that you would like about their albums, which is that like they're tight, they're clean, and they're still like heavy and big, definitely makes its way to the
flies.
stage show. Like it's like you felt that you were getting rocked the whole time, but like Kellen was saying, it was like the most crisp sounding rock show he's ever heard.
Yeah, it was. So they headlined on Saturday, and initially when I saw it, I was like, "Huh, Queens of the Stone Age, still big enough to headline, huh?"
Right.
And I can absolutely see it now. Like, if they didn't headline, that would have been a waste because nobody
Yeah.
was beating that performance.
And
on
they
Saturday.
they had a huge
Massive.
turnout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
massive
it was
crowd.
yeah. So yeah, it was great. Kellen went away from us for a little bit to go find somebody, and he said, "I'll be right back." Or he sent a text, said, "I'll be right back. Don't move." And we responded, "Can't make any promises because if they play the way you used to do, we're gonna shake our butts." That's exactly what happened. It was awesome.
It's a pretty good story there.
Yeah, it was, and that's seriously what happened. That song is so fucking dancey and fun.
We got knocked down a peg in terms of our egos this weekend.
Why?
because-
We got offered drugs.
Well, that did happen. We said no, not
Yeah.
drug guys. But we were on the artist guest list for both Friday and Saturday, and
Yeah.
those were supposed to come with some perks.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, what happened, if we were just, like, a miscommunication or whatever, but, like, we got denied at every place that we tried to get into, basically.
Yeah, we got there were perks, but I think just none of the perks that we thought existed.
Yeah.
You know?
So we tried to get by, like, a few different, like, checkpoints to hang out with Kellen and them
Yeah.
and stuff, and they were just like, wrong wristbands, bro. And we were like,
Yeah.
but we know the bassist.
Yeah.
And they were like, sure you do.
Yeah. We
It
were
was a tough weekend.
Kellen said that we could get shoes. That was one of the perks.
Oh, we didn't do that.
Yeah, did you hear that brunch? He was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, if you guys want shoes, like I can get you guys shoes."
Yeah.
We were like, "Yeah, let's get shoes."
We didn't get shoes.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds definitely like something we're gonna forget about
Yeah.
in 1 minute. I fell in love with speaking of merch, I fell in love with a fucking coat that I really want to get.
Yes, I think you should have got it. There's no reason that you shouldn't have bought that.
I've still looked it up. I looked it up like the
Online.
next day online. I should have got it and made that my fucking outfit. It's just like this big fucking faux fur coat. And actually, the look that I want to rock with it is inspired by one Alana Haim. She, I forget what festival, but like for one summer, she just like had like this big white fur coat, and that was her fucking look. So she would wear like this same short shorts that she always wears, boots, a fucking t-shirt, and then just fucking drape this huge ass coat over it. And it was such a fucking badass look. Like, if you put sunglasses on that, it looks fucking amazing.
I think if it was like 15 degrees colder the entire weekend, you would have bought that coat.
Yes, and so that's another thing. Friday, for me, dehydration was a massive, massive issue. I thought I was going to throw up at Haim.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I told you about that. We got to... So it was really, really hot at Riot Fest. I had ordered a drink called the Lemmy that was... It was like sweet tea vodka and lemonade. It was the sweetest thing I've ever had in my life. Definitely needed water instead. Just sun pounding down on us. Only had beer and Portillo's in me. And then when we got to Haim, I was like, I have not drank water all day. I need to drink like a million waters right now. And a lot of cash-only situations in Chicago.
Yeah.
So we didn't have enough cash for me to get as much water as I wanted to get. And honestly, like 5 minutes before Haim came on, I was like, I think that I might fucking faint before this happens. Are you at the point in your life where you're concerned about your water intake?
No, not usually.
Or do you drink enough? Do you generally get enough water?
I generally get enough water, yeah.
Yeah. So there comes a point in your life where you have to make sure you're drinking water throughout the day. And that was... I was very water deprived. And it was...
That would have been a hilarious story for the podcast, though, if we went all the way to Chicago to see Haim, and then you just fainted before the show.
That would be a super awesome story. Like, I would not say it was because I was dehydrated. I'd be like, I fucking thought about seeing Walking Away performed, and that was it. It was all my body
been like
needed.
A joke of yours in the past. You're just like, oh, I fainted.
I fainted, yeah. I used to say that a lot. I didn't stop saying it because I thought it was lame. I just fucking forget about... things like that. Like, pretty soon I'm going to stop saying trash, but not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, fucking mean Uber drivers. Trash. Yeah, we didn't get to the biggest story of the week, actually, that they replaced Harambe.
They did replace Harambe.
They replaced Harambe with a new gorilla.
What's its name?
But then it's like Mashindi or something.
Okay.
But the new gorilla, guess how old the new gorilla is?
4.
28.
What?
You've got to be, you've got to do shit as a gorilla to get your shine. Imagine if it took fucking, like, you had to wait 28 years before anyone's like, oh, this, like, I mean, I guess you have, like, a couple friends as a gorilla, like the other fucking losers, but it took 28 years for this lady guy. Yeah.
Oh, for it to headline.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the lifespan of a gorilla? Is that, like, towards the end?
Not long in that zoo.
Nice, man.
Until the kid shows up. Yeah. Well, this has been another episode of Brunch. We thank you very much for listening. Pete, where can you check out the podcast and on which apps?
You can check out the podcast on the Google Play Store, the iTunes Music Store, the podcast app, the CLNS Radio app, and DraftKings.com. Promo code Brunch.
And when you get the app on the iTunes Store, when it asks for your login info, use promo code Brunch.